I think the gym is the best spot to meet men in real life, like masculine men, because masculine men work out.
Dating these days is tough because I just want to be adored. I just want someone to be obsessed with me and love me loudly.
I cannot remember the last time that I talked to a man and he actually made me laugh. What happened to men?
This dating scene was never supposed to be like this. This is the result of pushing men away.
There's nothing I can't stand more than a ugly or mid man with the audacity.
Why are all the girlies in the same boat right now? From my last post about where are the girls finding boyfriends nowadays.
Ladies, go get a job at a hospital. We wonder why we can't find a man. It's because there's too many vacant spots.
They're all searching for a man, but really they aren't ready. They've got bad demeanor. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
Good morning. I work late nights, right? Where are the men who are romantic who show up at your door knowing their lady work nights and be like, I brought breakfast?
This might be controversial or a really hot take, but I think it's so funny that there's men out there that are always complaining oh my gosh, girls get everything for free. It's so easy. Life is so easy for females. Women get everything handed to them because they're pretty. Okay? It's always the men saying these things that are the men that don't want to provide anything to women or can't provide anything to women.
Guys are not upset that they have to provide for you. Guys are upset that you are demanding that they provide for you while bringing nothing to the table that they actually want from you.
A question to all my Seattle people. Where do we meet men in the wild? I have downloaded the apps again, and so, me and a couple of my friends are all single, and where do we meet people in the wild? Or if you have anyone that you would like to recommend, send our way.
The thing is, a lot of these women that want to meet men have got to leave their single groups because they'll never be able to find a man like that. A group of women being single and not one have a relationship is a clear sign that the environment is feeding the cycle. They sit around reinforcing each other's habits, talking about how all men are trash, planning girls' trips and wine nights. But no one is actually putting themselves in spaces where quality men are. Staying in that bubble keeps them comfortable but stagnant. And eventually, years go by with the same complaints and no results. That's why many of these women will keep asking where to meet men. But the truth is, as long as they're glued to the same single friend circles, they're limiting themselves. They go out together, sit at the same tables, talk to the same people, and then wonder why nothing changes.
I think it's time to finally admit that I'm tired of being single and I want to be in a relationship. I really want a boyfriend. Is that so bad to say? I want someone to do things with, go grocery shopping with, go to the beach with, cuddle with, tell each other secrets, watch movies, go do random things, go to rooftops, go meet each other's friends. I just missing that relationship in my life, and I am not ashamed to admit it.
You're a woman that goes into the gym and you ask yourself, why does every man stare at me? Why don't I get approached by these men? The reason why you are not getting approached is because these men see you as a woman with high value. They know that if they approach you, you will hurt their ego. They know that you are better than them. Men can sense if a woman is better than them, and that intimidates. This is the truth. I'm trying to be kind, but that is the truth.
What? Somehow we have reached peak delusion, where some women genuinely think that not being approached by a man means they're better than everyone else in the room. No, it doesn't mean you're high valued. It means the guy is either shy and wants to respect your boundaries, he's focused on himself, or he just doesn't care about you. Women like this can't comprehend that because their ego needs constant reinforcement. The idea that men are scared to approach you because you'll hurt their ego isn't confidence, it's delusion. An actual high valued woman, one, doesn't flaunt that she's high valued, and two, doesn't assume that she's better than anyone else. She's secure enough in herself not to need to be seen. Let's be real for a second. If a man isn't approaching you, it's probably not because he thinks you're better. It might be because he can see right through your act, and that's not attractive.
Where did she get this stuff from? Just because a man doesn't approach a woman in the gym doesn't mean that he thinks she's better than him. In fact, no man has ever felt that way. It's not even that men feel like their ego would be hurt like she stated. that man could just simply not want to approach. A lot of these women have to come up with these insane reasons to comfort their delusion, because it's the only way they can function. They invent these stories about men being intimidated, scared, or too nervous, when in reality most men just don't care enough to act. It's easier for them to make up excuses than to face the truth that maybe their personality, attitude, or energy isn't attractive. And the longer they stay in this fantasy, the further they push real opportunities away, all while telling themselves the problem is everyone else. The sad part is, this pattern repeats itself everywhere, online, at work, in social settings. They just refuse to self-reflect.
Men are not lonely enough. This guy asked me on a date, and I said, okay, I'll go on a date with you. Look at me. Gorgeous, stunning, beautiful, ready to go on the date. Okay, it's a dinner date. He gets there before me and texts me and says, hey, I didn't make a reservation and there's an hour wait. You asked me on a date, practically begged me to go on a date with you, and you didn't make a reservation on Labor Day weekend? He goes, oh, well, I'm not really familiar with the area. Do you have somewhere else you'd like to go? Yeah, I'm ignoring you and going back home to my fucking couch, dumbass.
All us single people, we're all single because there's some kind of club for people in relationships. The people that get long-term relationships and boyfriends and girlfriends and partners and all this happy cutesy dootsy stuff, okay? And then there's us single people, not by choice, the situationships, the outsiders, the people that get left on hookups and ghosted and shit. It's because we're not part of the club. How do you get in the club? I fear, actually. We have to have feelings and be emotionally available. Fuck. Do I want to be in the club? Do we want to be in the club, guys? I don't know.
I think no matter what, a powerful man will simp to a woman. Therefore, a woman in every circumstance in life is superior to a man. Okay. I think woman is just a superior gender in general.
So what's your type?
Tall, strong, dominant.
So then wouldn't that be superior to you?
Never. Any man, if you make more money than me, if you're stronger than me and you're taller than me, you'll still simp for me every single time.
A powerful man, whatever that means in her mind, will never simp to a woman. A lot of women have this belief because they think men were put on earth to please them and fulfill their desires. She even stated that her type is a tall, strong man. These are the types that these women are attracted to, men that are superior to them, and they hate to admit it. The truth is, these men don't need validation, don't bend over backward, and aren't impressed by superficial attention or flattery. They operate on a different level. They're focused on their goals, their lives, their power, and that's exactly why women project their fantasies onto them. It's easier to convince themselves they're in control of a man who, in reality, doesn't revolve around them. It exposes the double standard. Women want men to be strong, dominant, and attractive, but they still expect him to cater to every whim, which is a contradiction they rarely see.
For some reason, men think saying, text me when you get home safe, makes them a good guy.
It doesn't. But here I thought that fell into that category known as the bare minimum.
No, a good guy texts me to make sure that I got home safe.
Hold on. How exactly is the guy supposed to know when the woman gets home? Does he just magically know? Or is there going to be a line of text coming from the guy saying, are you home yet? Are you home yet? And then the woman gets upset that he texts too much and is too needy.
Telling me to text you is about your comfort. You don't want to do the work, so you put the work on me.
Texting is considered to be work now?
A real nice guy takes the weight off of me and actually checks in, does the work.
Yeah, because it's a lot of work to text those little words, I'm home.
If you cared about my safety, I feel like a man would show it with action, not just a line that he says to every girl. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I think that no matter how much some guys do for women, whether it is just the bare minimum or if they do actually go above and beyond, there will always be some out there that just want more because they want to feel special in that person's life. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with wanting to feel special. However, if a woman in this case has specific expectations in regards to how the other person treats them in the relationship, those things should be voiced. Men aren't mind readers. So say exactly what a person wants, and don't be so vague.
You know what's really funny is that when a woman wants a good quality of life, she's called a gold digger. But then men out there, they want a woman to be a free maid, a free house cleaner. They want you to carry their child, have their child, take care of their child, work, cook, clean, and be available whenever they want to. No excuses. No excuses. And sometimes they also want you to pay the bills. Yeah. They feel so entitled that we are obligated to do everything for them and not receive anything back, not even like the bare minimum. And yeah, and then we are called the gold digger, which is another level of illusion to me. And I'm so glad that a lot of women are waking up to this reality, because the level of projection that they do onto women, it's actually insane. Like, they are the gold diggers, but then, you know what I mean? Like, accountability, there's no accountability on this man, let me tell you.
I don't think this woman knows what a gold digger is. When a woman looks for a quality of life, she's really looking for a man to leech off of, to get while not giving anything back. That's what makes her a gold digger. When a woman adds value to the relationship and works with her man to reach the next level, that's called being an asset, not a liability. Men don't care if a woman wants a quality of life. They can go build that themselves. The problem is when she comes into a man's life expecting everything handed to her without putting in the effort. Many of these women struggle with contributing because, in reality, they have nothing of value to offer. They complain, make excuses, and act like their desires are demands, all while thinking they're entitled to a man's time, energy, and resources. The sad truth is, entitlement never builds relationships. Only effort, respect, and shared ambition do.
So women are now blaming men when a woman does something to another woman.
What I see nobody talking about with that video of that girl who got thrown in the pool by her friend is all the guys looking at her afterwards. Like, they literally have like their sunglasses down. They're like absolutely disgusted that a woman could distract them from their good time.
If you don't know the video she's talking about, it was a girl who got pushed into the pool by another girl. Less than like 2 seconds afterwards, a dude is helping her out of the pool. So I gotta be honest, this was super fucking confusing to me. But then I saw her responses in the comment section where people pointed out, so there was a guy that helped her out, but you're also saying, how dare all the guys not help her out? And here's where it gets wild. I kind of more so meant maybe someone would jump in and try to lighten the mood. So a girl pushes another girl in the pool. A guy immediately helps her out of the pool. And I mean, like, as soon as her head pops up out of that water, dude was helping her out of the pool. But the guys are assholes because none of them jumped in to also get wet. I sincerely hope she stretched before that reach, because holy shit.
My friend just went on his first date post-divorce, and he told me halfway through dinner, the girl let him know how much her rent was per month, how much her car payment was per month, and how much her clothing allowance typically is per month. What?
Oh, darling. Welcome to the 2020s. Welcome to what pretty much every man in the dating world has experienced, not just once, but over and over. What's interesting is that you seem shocked by it, especially considering that it's been going on for years. Men have shared those experiences over and over again. I guess it just goes to show you that women don't listen to a word we say. And then you all wonder why men are done and walking away.
I mean, it's not that surprising for a woman to flat out tell a man her expenses on a first date. Some women even demand payment before the date even starts because they think he should be paying for her time. If a woman is telling a man she just met about her monthly expenses, it's a pretty good sign she's broke and looking for help. It shows her mindset is transactional. She's not interested in building a connection. She's sizing up what she can get. This is probably one of the main reasons why so many men are done dating and entertaining modern women. They're almost always focused on what they can get rather than what they can give, constantly testing, demanding and expecting a man to jump through hoops just to prove himself. This idea that a man should pay for a woman's time goes straight into the oldest profession in the world.
Let's talk about 50-50, because a lot of y'all are not living in reality when we're having this conversation. You want a man to pay all the bills, take care of the rent or mortgage, lashes, car notes, nails, hair, take care of the kids. The list goes on, right? He needs to provide. And I'm not saying that you don't deserve that. I'm saying that the reality and the statistics show that that is not the reality, because most men simply cannot afford to do that. The world we live in right now is crazy expensive. And even if that was the case, I'm sure most men would love to be able to take care of their women. However, the way society is set up right now, that is not a realistic expectation. And it's not because these men are lazy or they don't love you. The real truth is, most people are not rich. I don't care what society tells you. If we look at the actual numbers, the average person barely makes $50,000 a year. That's across the board. Like, go look at the stats. So where are we supposed to get all of this extra income from? And why is it that every time we talk about provision, we're talking about money in particular? Because provision is way more than money. Provision, a man could come in and provide peace. Maybe this man could provide protection or emotional security. There's so much more provision than just finances. Let's get that straight too. So many of my ladies are out here saying, oh, I'd rather pay 100% than to go 50-50. And I get that. I really do. You've been hurt. You've been disappointed by certain men. I get why you say that. But I want to just talk about why it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Studies show that the best way to level up, to build wealth, is to work together. Being 50-50 with your person, with the right person, is not struggle. It's actually strategy. You got to think bigger. It's two people building together. It's shared vision. It is respect and contribution, not one-sided survival. Being alone and doing it 100% by yourself sounds empowering, but is it peace or is it pride wrapped in pain? Because when the bills hit and life gets heavy, and it will, it's not about flexing your independence. It's about having someone who's going to show up with you. 50-50 is not about splitting bills. It's about sharing a life. And that's way more important than money.
Women have an issue with 50-50 because they don't have their 50%. And I've heard this before, but it makes sense. If you're not bringing equal value, effort, or contribution to a relationship, then asking for half is really asking for more than you deserve. A lot of women expect the man to carry the weight while they coast along, acting like paying his share. Planning or supporting him emotionally is optional. The thing is with these women, they don't live in reality. The kind of man they're looking for only exists in the fantasy they create in their minds. He's always perfect, strong, successful, attentive, and somehow immune to flaws. Basically a walking checklist. Meanwhile, they ignore the fact that real men have lives, responsibilities, and standards of their own. They expect him to meet every need, cater to every desire, and tolerate behavior they wouldn't accept from anyone else. The problem isn't that men aren't good enough. It's that these women aren't willing to meet reality halfway. And until they do, they'll always be chasing ghosts.